So nervous right now.
Why are you nervous?
International Women's Day, and I am about to be panelist on the Buffalo Boss Babes speaker series with a couple of other entrepreneurs from Buffalo, all women. You'd think that this would be easy by now. It's not.
Is it going to be like 40 people?
Maybe.
And you're super nervous, yet you post videos to almost 200,000 and you're not nervous?
Well, I get nervous.
It makes no sense.
I get nervous when I post a video. Like, I'm talking to you guys, but you guys aren't physically in front of me. I can't see however many of you there are. We're down our old hood today. The place we're speaking at is this brewery that is across from our old apartment, which was not there. We basically left and they really developed this area, which is hilarious how much they did in like a year. Thanks for coming with me on the weekend.
You're welcome.
It's our old apartment. Oh,
Good luck.
thank you.
Pause the video for a second. I didn't just drop Becki off. I actually went in and supported her and listened to her talk. This was a panel discussion with a bunch of entrepreneurs who are females. It's through the Buffalo Boss Babes network. And Becki was asked to speak on the panel, and they covered a lot of topics, anything from being a female in business. Well, Becki talked a lot about her experience in YouTube, being a creator, and just kind of functioning in today's society with social media.
The filter is really dirty.
Yeah, you did great.
Thanks.
Are you guys here to support Beckys Panel?
Who's that?
Who?
Never heard of her.
Who that? I don't know
Here
who
for the
she
free
is.
food.
Yeah. And Chris.
And Chris.
I'm here for Becki, okay? Not talking to anymore.
So I chose 5 of my favorite excerpts that she kind of covered. The first one being a quick synopsis of our story and how we ended up where we are now on YouTube. This gives a really good idea about how this channel even just started, all in a short, succinct bullet point form.
I have a YouTube channel with my husband Chris, who's right here. Chris. Hey, Chris. Thanks for coming. He's filming for me today. We'll just go back to where it started. I am a graphic designer by trade, self-taught photographer. I went to school for graphic design, worked in a marketing company for 2 years, hated it, and then I left. Chris and I, we bought a screen printing studio with the intentions of running a streetwear company. And I started doing freelance design, I started doing freelance photography, and we were doing some video work as well. As time went on, we realized that we didn't want to do the streetwear company anymore, and we were just doing printing for other people. That Chris actually really did like it, but I didn't love it. So we sold it all and bought a house, and we started renovating that house. And during that time, I was freelancing still. I was doing graphic design, I was doing photography, I had clients. I had always wanted to be my own boss, so it was really a good fit for me to work from home. We bought a house that had a home office. During that time, we started a home renovation blog. And so for 5 years, when we renovated our house, we blogged the entire process, which I don't know why we chose written blog, because I'm a shit writer. But anyway, we did that. So in 2014, we competed in a home renovation contest and we won. It was international. And that was kind of like a moment where I was like, maybe blogging could be a career option. Because at that point, I was kind of getting sick of working for other people, being a freelancer. And I was just kind of like overdoing other people's stuff. And I wanted to start growing something for myself. So that was 2014. The blog was kind of starting to grow after we won the competition. We were finishing up our house and it's 2016. And Chris was finishing school and his career took us to Vancouver for 1 year. So 1 year in a completely different province. Oh, by the way, I'm Canadian, I forgot to mention that, from St. John's, Newfoundland, which is an island off the east coast of Canada. So we decided to drop the blog for the vlog, which made way more sense. Making video content was definitely a more natural way for us to tell our story. So we packed up all of our shit and we shipped our car to Montreal, drove across the country, and went to Vancouver for 1 year. When we decided to start our channel, the intention wasn't to be like an influencer or anything. It was just to kind of hold us accountable for our 1 year in Vancouver. We were going to document all of our trips. We were going to make a point of going out every single weekend and experiencing everything that BC had to offer. We're going to make a video a week, post it, and then that was it. The plan was to, once that year was over, to move back to St. John's, go back into our house, dive back into home renovation content. We're going to build a cabin. We had all these plans, and during the year, Chris's job, he had a job lined up in St. John's. His contract ended up getting cut. We were pretty devastated. It was a really emotional time because the prospect of us moving home was gone. Like, what all of our plans were gone out the window. So what were we going to do? We were in Vancouver. We were living in the most expensive city in Canada, or one of the most expensive cities in Canada. We couldn't afford to live there. So I like to say that Vancouver was a pretty pivotal year for us. It really changed the trajectory of our life. We came here and interviewed, and a lot of people had really shitty things to say about Buffalo, which kind of pissed me off a lot, because when I asked people, like, why are you saying terrible things about Buffalo? Oh, the sports teams are bad. I was like, okay, cool. Like, you have never been to Buffalo. So we decided we were going to form our own opinions of Buffalo. Chris took the job. We moved from Vancouver and moved back to St. John's for 2 months. We got married, and then we moved to Buffalo. When I immigrated here, I had to get a part-time job so I could get a visa to come here. But at the border, they told me I couldn't make any money besides what I was doing for my part-time job. So that meant no ad revenue on YouTube. That meant no freelancing. That meant no brand partnerships, nothing. So I basically came here and spent a full year putting up 2 videos, 3 videos a week, building my channel with no income from it at all, and didn't even know when I was going to get my green card, and just grinded it out with the hopes that one day, if we could grow our channel big enough, and I got my green card, that we could monetize it. We kind of grew our channel, and we did collaborations that made a really big difference in our growth. We bought a house, and I ended up getting my green card, and then could finally monetize the channel. So I quit my part-time job in November, and I've been doing full-time YouTube for 5 months. And now I can finally make money from all the hard work that we did. So that's the story, that's the journey. Kind of a shit show of a story, but yeah, that's it.
The second point I found useful, especially for people just starting out on YouTube, is whether you should niche down or just be all over the place with vlogs. And Becki kind of told it straight up, was very blunt about it, but here we go.
It's definitely easier to grow a channel with a niche. Like if we started off and just did a photography video tutorial channel, we probably would have grown a lot faster than we did. And your channel doesn't really grow with vlogs, and that's what we were doing. We were vlogging. If you don't have an audience, nobody gives a shit about your vlog. And so we just kept pushing and pushing, and sorry I swear a lot, but people complain about that a lot.
I love that. Nobody gives a shit about your vlogs. And it's true, because when we started, all we posted were vlogs and no one cared about them. I think though, if we had niche down, we probably would have grown faster, but it probably would have alienated you guys if we posted something outside the niche. Now I feel like we can post whatever, and you guys are like, well, whatever, it's Becki and Chris. They kind of post all over the map. I also think it's an important point that she touched on, that we couldn't monetize this channel until she got her green card. And that really just forced us to make content we wanted to make that was 100% authentic. And it really, I think, allowed us to build a trust with you guys, and you didn't think that everything we were posting was an ad. Third point I want to highlight is when Becki talks about comparison and how this is not a competition, whether it's YouTube or life in general.
You have to really look at it not as a competition. And when you're watching other people's content, to be inspired, there's a level of, I'm gonna watch this and get really excited to make stuff, and not, I'm gonna watch this and compare myself and then be really sad because I'm not as good as that person, or I'm not doing the things that this person is doing. So I think social media can be toxic, but I think it could also be really positive. And it all depends on your mindset and how you're looking at it. I have a couple of creators that I love to watch that I know when I watch their videos, I'm fucking pumped to like go film something. But I also know that if I'm feeling a little like imposter syndrome is, kicking in, because I have that a lot, that I'm not good enough, I won't watch the content. When I'm in that mindset, that's when the negative thoughts start to pop in, and that's when I start comparing myself.
Fourth point, herd mentality. This is something we encountered so much when we told people we were moving to Buffalo, New York. I'll let Becki explain it, because she hit on pretty much all the points.
Like, I love that everybody was like shitting on Buffalo, and you guys were like, no, Buffalo is cool. Like, we're gonna make our own assumption.
When we moved here, or when we came down and Chris had his interview, the guy who drove us from Toronto was like, don't go down this street, you're gonna get shot. Don't go down here, you're gonna get shot. You're gonna get robbed here. Don't walk down the street by yourself. And I was like, where the fuck are we? Am I gonna get murdered? I'm shitting myself. I'm terrified. And so there was I was in tears. I was like, where are we moving? I haven't heard about Buffalo. Who is she? I don't know. And then, people would be like, where are you moving? Oh, Buffalo, New York. Oh, like, why are you going there? It's like, well, where are these opinions coming from? Well, they're sports teams. I'm like, okay, everyone shut up. We're making our own opinions. So that's what we did. I'm gonna find friends. I'm gonna just insert myself into a community where there are people who are doing the same things as me. And I'm just gonna embrace the shit out of Buffalo. And you know what? I came here and we are obsessed. We love it. And we decided we're like, okay, well, in 6 months we'll check in. If one of us doesn't like it, we're out. Both of us were obsessed, so we stayed. And so we've been here for 2 years. We took the job here, Chris took the job here because it was a really good job. The cost of living in Buffalo was affordable compared to Vancouver. We grew up in St. John's, which is like a really small town on an island off the east coast of Canada. Not a lot of people know where that is. So
I don't, obviously.
You hear my accent, that's definitely from the island. And then we moved to this big city, Vancouver, and it was like such a dope city, and then we came here. But you know, all of the cities have something different to offer. There's a community here where we felt like we fit in. And I also feel like I had to prove to everybody on the internet who was like, Buffalo, like Buffalo's deadly. We're doing it. But I've had people like reach out and be like, oh, now I want to go to Buffalo because it looks cool. And I'm like, thank you, it is. It's dope.
It is cool.
It is. Okay.
Yeah, I can't stress enough how much we were actually second guessing our choice to move here just based on other people's opinions. It's absolutely crazy. It's almost as if people were saying you cannot be happy unless you're in New York or LA. And honestly, that's not true. There are so many people in this country and anywhere in the world that live in whatever town it is, and they're completely happy. It's all about perspective and what you make of it. So my fifth and final excerpt, this contains a quote that's one of my favorites, and not just because it came from me. I'll let Becki tell you.
I was working at the marketing company, and then I decided I wanted to start my own thing, or basically turn my freelance into my career. I hated my job so much that I was dreading going to work. I dreaded getting up in the morning. I used to go to the bathroom and sit on the toilet and stare at the wall and be like, maybe I could just pretend that I'm taking a shit and nobody will know. And I just tell people I have the bog trots and it's fine. So I was just like, I need to get I gotta get out of here. And so that for me was like checking in with my happiness and how I was feeling. And when we moved, and Chris was kind of like, you know, this might be a good year if you because you have to leave your clients at home. To, do a personal project. I was kind of like, well, I'm kind of like done with freelancing anyway. So he said something to me once. He was like, you're responsible for your own happiness. And I think that like really resonated with me, because a lot of times if I'm not happy and I think about why I'm not happy, if it's the career or the job that I'm doing at the time, like for me, it's time to make a change.
You are responsible for your own happiness. And it all, again, comes down to perspective. That's kind of the theme of this talk, I feel like. There's a lot of times where it kind of came full circle that life is really what you make of it, and it's all about framing it so that you figure out what makes you happy and then what you need to do to get there.
Great.
Thank you. I blanked once.
That's okay. No, you did great.
When you realize that you can't cut it out, and then you're like, wait, I can't cut this out. Wait, I've been paused for a long time. Oh, shit.
Can't cut the pause out?
I can't cut the pause
You're just
out.
talking to the camera?
Yeah. But no, it was good. It was really fun.
I think there's some good questions.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think everyone felt on the same page with a lot of it. You know, how to deal with hate comments, how to deal with
Imposter syndrome,
all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, I thought you had some good, insightful points.
Thank you.
All right, time to get some food?
Yes, food time.
All right.
You're sitting here. I feel bashful saying nice things about you, knowing you're listening.
Do you want a couple of yours?
Okay, plug yours. Those are my 5 favorite excerpts from Becki's talk. Super proud of her. She's such a boss, and I hope you guys enjoyed this a little bit of a different vlog. I figured you'd be happy to see Becki speak just like I was. She killed it, absolutely killed it. So proud of her. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell so you get notified when we post new videos. We will see you on the next one. Bye.
Oh my god, thank you for saying those nice things about me. Plugging my ears did nothing. I could hear you.
You're supposed to plug your ears.
I heard you anyway. Oops, that was so nice.
Who owns Becki and Chris? Half owns slash
90%
owns.
He only does 10% of the work.
Yes, Chris is the co-host, right?
To do this, right? Because at the end of the day, like people are
Comment below if you think Becki swears too much.
Stop.